at that point, you're not there to play it safe. Like if you're not taking risks, you're not competing.
It's empowering. I mean, anybody who's done a CrossFit workout, you finish your CrossFit workout and you're like, I'm on top of the world.
Yeah.
Like a hunger for competition and like that super intense structure, routine. I still had that desire.
Listen to the way people feel and the motivations for doing the things that they did. It was like they were describing me to a T.
I'm not trying to solve everything for you, but I know that sometimes you just need somebody to listen.
Learned the most is how to fill my cup by filling others.
Welcome to the Hungry Dog Barbell Podcast. Join me as I talk with passionate people about their life's failures and successes, and most importantly, what keeps them hungry for more. What up, dogs? Welcome back to another episode of the Hungry Dog Barbell Podcast. I'm joined by another awesome guest from the sober community, Casey Kehoe.
Hello.
Did I get that right?
Yes.
Got it right. What's up, Casey? How are you?
How are you?
We just threw down on a workout in there.
Yes, we did.
Nice little 7x1 split jerk. Casey, I have a question for you right off the bat.
Okay.
If you could design your perfect CrossFit workout, what would it be?
A very long chipper wad.
Very long chipper. What would it entail? What kind of movements?
Pretty much everything. All barbell movements.
All barbell.
And toes to bar, some gymnastics in there, but definitely a lot of barbell movements.
Heck yeah, that's what I'll be. So like 12 Days of Christmas, but just like chipper style,
Love it.
or like more rep style, I should say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's fun. That's the opposite of exactly what my workout would be. I think that I might have done like what my go-to workout is this week. Monday we had descending meters on the rower, and then clean and jerks at 155.
Oh wow!
So it's just a little bit heavier than the regular 135, but not so heavy that it's like you're getting absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
That's one of my that would be like my go-to. Maybe I'd change the row to a bike because I don't really love to row, but that would be one of mine.
Well, you see me a lot of times on Sundays. I go to open gym at our gym, and I do a lot of really killer long workouts.
I see that.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're my favorite.
I saw that you were working out before you came here today.
Just a little bit of lifting. That's all.
You come to the Sunday lifting, and then you go. Do you go back or do you come here first?
I've gone back once or twice, but I'm learning to take a little bit of a step back and let my body recover a little bit more. So,
yeah. So, what does an average workout week look like for you?
Definitely a lot of lifting, and I would do a WOD after that all the time, but I definitely have cut back a little bit on doing WODs every single day.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, I see my progress more so when I do focus on the programming that Justin from my gym, my coach, gives me.
Yeah.
However, I do sometimes go into weeks where I am pushing it every day and doing a lot of WODs. So it just kind of varies.
Are you a FOMO kind of person?
I am. I for sure am.
You've got the fear of missing out on workouts?
Yes.
I had heard of that before, but I'd never applied it to like working out until someone said it to me. And I'm like, bro, you have a fear of missing. I get it sometimes too if it's a really fun workout.
Yeah, I have a hard time implementing rest days, but I am really trying to do that now. I'm trying to do yoga on Tuesday nights and at least have that to just kind of fill up my time a little bit and give me something else to look forward to. And, if I'm not throwing down in the gym, so.
Nice. Casey, where are you from?
I'm originally from Southwest Philadelphia, and now I live up in Northeast Philly.
Oh, nice. So where did you go to high school?
Yeah, I went to high school, West Catholic in West Philly.
Oh.
46 and Chestnut.
Shout out to that.
So, yeah, it was a good time back in the early 2000s, so.
Oh, man, I know that kind of vibe. So, tell me about young Casey. Were you a sporty girl? Were you a gothy girl? What were you?
All of the above.
All of the above?
Yeah.
I love it.
So, I'm one of two. My sister and I, we are 18 months apart.
Older, younger?
I am older. We have been in the same grade ever since, I'd say, early grade school, because I stayed back a year when I was in second grade. So, everybody always thought we were twins, even though we're not.
That's funny.
But we are still very close in age. But, yeah, we both were in all the sports, basketball, soccer, softball. And I actually really excelled at soccer. I didn't start playing until I got to high school. I was using that as training for basketball. But then that actually wound up really becoming my sport, which I do still play now. I play that on Sundays.
That's still, what, soccer or basketball?
Soccer.
Soccer?
Yeah. My
nice.
sister was better. I always wanted to be good at basketball, but it was just I never had that extra bit that I needed. But then once I found soccer, that's kind of where I was like, all right, this is my sport.
Did you grow up watching AI, and that's what made you want to play soccer?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
The early
The
2000s time.
Mutombo was my favorite.
During that time period, were you competitive, like in sports? Like, did you like to go compete?
Oh yeah, I was very competitive, very tenacious. I actually had to wear knee pads in basketball because I was so aggressive, like going after the ball and like throwing myself on the floor, like to get the ball and everything. Had a few concussions here and there. On the soccer field, I definitely excelled more. I'm a defender. I still play defense, stopper, sweeper. So that tenacity definitely helped me out in that area as well.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I definitely have that aggressive, athletic, drive.
Random question. I used to ask these people all the time. What do you think is the most difficult skill in all of sports? I'll give you my answer so you have something to go off here. I think that the hardest thing to do, like just pure skill-wise, not like you need a whole bunch of athleticism to do it. The hardest thing to do is to either hit a major league fastball or hit a hole-in-one in golf. One of those two things. Do you have any idea of like what you would say would be the hardest thing?
I mean, I'm going to have to agree with you on the hole-in-one with golf.
They got to be super difficult, right?
I golf now, like for work and everything,
Yeah.
so I get out there every once in a while, and it is an extremely fun and frustrating and difficult sport. But if you try and you stick with it, like you can be good. But a hole-in-one would probably be. If I got a hole-in-one, I'm playing the lottery.
It's like, this is my day.
Yeah.
I finally found it out.
Definitely,
for me, it's not that like the sport of golf is too slow, but like me trying to learn it is too slow.
Yep.
Like my brain moves, even though like I don't talk like a lot. Like I'm not that person that's gonna be like talking your head off when you first meet me. Like my brain moves a lot. Like my brain's moving around fast, so it's like it's a lot to go and learn this slow game and play that. But I've only been getting into top golf, not real golf. But
well, no, I totally agree with you. I go out there. It's for work, for business. So it is a long day. I mean, it's not a bad day at the office for sure.
Yeah.
But
you get to get active and move around.
It's slower. Not as quick as like CrossFit, but that's again sort of why I'm going to yoga into my routine as well, because it is slower.
Yeah.
And I think that's just something important for myself personally that I'm trying to do a little bit more. Is just kind of slow down a little bit too. So I think it's important to kind of put those things in there.
Hell yeah, you gotta have both. Your brain's gotta have a little bit balance in the brain. So I think something that goes along with being competitive. Do you consider yourself, and have you always considered yourself, a confident person?
I am, yes. I would say I have always been fairly confident in certain areas of my life. I've definitely had times in my life where I wasn't as confident as, say, I am now in myself, for sure. But in general, yes, I think I've always, led with my head held high and felt good about, myself for the most part. There's definitely been a lot of times there when I haven't, but yes. Yeah,
hell yeah. So, dude, let's keep going into this. Did young Casey have any direction of what you want to do? Was there something that was like glaring to you? You're like, fuck yeah, I want to do this.
I would say I always wanted to be a Division I basketball player when I was younger.
Hell yeah!
And that
what was that? What was that movie that had the twin sisters that played basketball when we were younger?
Oh, the Disney Channel movie was it?
Fuck.
I can't remember.
One of my friends loves that movie too. Doubled up,
something like that. Double teamed or
double
something.
Team.
But that sounds not great.
It sounds really nasty.
Yeah.
Disney, you were terrible with those movies.
My basketball movie growing up was Love and Basketball.
Oh,
that was my basketball movie.
Classics, and I like that. Yeah, that was really good.
But yes, that's what I wanted to do, and then I always thought I was going to be a teacher or something. But life's and things change. So
do you like working with people and like talking to people?
I do. I mean, I'm in sales now.
Yeah.
I am a people person. I am definitely that person at the gym that always goes up to the new person and introduce myself. And I'm not somebody who's shy to like go places like by myself and like meet new people.
You showed up here by yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't intimidate me.
Yeah. Do you like have any idea where you got that from? Because you grew up with a sister.
Yes.
So like you didn't have to go places by yourself.
No, I mean, I think I've just kind of always kind of been sort of the leader between our dynamic.
Yeah.
And I've always been older than everybody. Growing up being sort of held back and then sort of being a year older than everybody.
That just naturally raises
I
you
think
in
so,
that position.
yeah. And then honestly, with the job that I have now, being networking and sales, like, you have to have tough skin. You have to be able to talk to people.
Right.
So it's a skill that I've definitely mastered over the years of doing this job. So
Damn, 12 years in sales. What'd you get your first sales job? Was it right into sales, or was it a different
no,
sector?
so I actually started this company back in 2011, and I was actually running the scale where the trucks would come in and out of the yard. So I would talk to the drivers all the time, and I guess about 3 years into that, my boss was like, "We need somebody in sales. We can't do it anymore. So let's just train you to do that." And that's what they did.
Were you like a let's do it kind of person
Oh yeah,
right away?
for sure, absolutely.
No fear.
No fear.
There you go.
Yep.
You believed in yourself right away.
Yeah.
That's the confidence coming through.
That's it.
So we were just talking about it a little bit, like you walking in here. The reason that we know each other is through the Phoenix organization. Listeners, go back. There's been a couple of different volunteers through that. How long have you been working with them? How did you originally get in touch with them? If that's like aligning with your story, like keep that a little bit separate. We'll just talk about like that organization. We'll kind of go back and forth.
Yeah. So I learned about the Phoenix. I'm gonna say probably when I was in an IOP program for substance use. I heard about it, and I think I just like looked up a class that was in our area, and I found the CrossFit T1, and I think I went there definitely over about a year ago, actually, maybe a little bit longer than a year ago for my first Phoenix class, and it was CrossFit, so I was like, oh, this is perfect.
I got it. I already know what I'm doing.
So that was my first like class, and I kind of like had my toes in the water a little bit here and there until, I'm going to say sometime in December when I finally decided to really get sober for good, and sort of just kind of made a commitment to showing up. And that was a big part of accountability for me and for me to stay sober. So that's what I really enjoyed about it. And then from there, Chris and Kevin and Gavin, they all encouraged me to volunteer, and that can mean a number of different things, and then eventually to go forward and getting my L1 through them and see what we can do with that. Yeah.
Did you get the level 1 already?
I did, yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
How many, this might be a little bit of an estimate, I don't know how much you know, how many like different gyms, and there's like other places that they're involved with, it's like not just loosely a gym, how many different affiliates do they have in like the Philly area, like partners, I guess I was to say?
The Phoenix?
Yeah.
So I know, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, I think like 4 or 5, and soon to be possibly 6. With my gym. So I believe it's right around there. Yeah.
What exactly are they offering? What do they do? What does the Phoenix do?
So the Phoenix offers all different types of events. Not just CrossFit. They have rock climbing, nature walks, anything that you can really think of. Softball teams. Yeah, we're doing a barbecue picnic coming up. I've seen. People do yoga classes. I've seen people do bike rides, hikes, whatever it could be. And it's an app, and you put your location, and you can find all these events that are close to you. And basically, with 48 hours of sobriety, you can show up and meet people and maybe find a new hobby, connect with people in the community, which I really like. And it's just another tool in the toolbox to use, in my opinion, to, stay sober. So
right. Sober, active community. Having the toolbox is really what it is, right? Yes. I don't think there's any one single thing that works for people. I should say, really, realistically, for me. I know there's never been just one thing. Yeah,
it's not just about, somebody who's staying sober. I think everybody has their own toolbox, and it's what kind of tools you got in there and how you utilize them that matters,
Right. So we'll go back to, like, your journey specifically in a second, like, start it off. But have you ever been around things like that before, like an organization or group of people that you felt like actually kept you accountable?
So yeah, I have quite a history. I went through, when I was at the end of high school into college, I suffered with a pretty severe eating disorder. So I was away with treatment with that. So I am familiar with, group activities with people and the sense of community and support. Right. So I definitely am well versed in that. I think CrossFit's also a great tight-knit community that, everybody can, get something out of. So, you know, just being surrounded by people with positive attitudes just helps me in general. So
Yeah. So, Casey, I can like almost trace my sobriety and active use journey back to like one single day.
Mhm.
You know, like I remember what was going on, like the school day that happened beforehand and stuff like that. I don't want to say the ultimate factors, but some of the factors that led to like me starting. Where does like your journey start?
well, like I said, I think my journey in general started back then when I had an eating disorder, and thankfully I'm out of the woods with that for real. But
Made it to another side.
yes,
of
I
it.
made it to another addiction, so that was great. No, I think growing up, you just kind of drinking, partying, early 20s, and then it goes to the mid 20s, and I definitely went through spouts in my life where I was drinking heavier than others. And then I'm going to say probably right around 2018, 2019 is when, I kind of kicked it up a notch and really relied on drinking to fulfill a lot of enjoyment in my life. And then, when lockdown and COVID happened, that's when it really kind of got out of control for me.
Yeah.
And I'd say back in 2021, I kind of started to, get a little bit of help and, decided I should try to get sober. And I'm very stubborn, so it was not a quick turnaround for me. It took me about 2 years to actually, commit to myself to actually do it for real.
Right.
So then finally in December was my last drink, and, haven't picked up since. So
That's awesome. Something you really said that you said right there, I really love. The decide to commit to myself, like not to the plan from someone else, not to like sobriety, because that's a separate thing. I'm committing to myself, and
Correct.
this is what I want to do with things. Have you always found it hard to like ask for help?
Yes.
Because like you're that leader
100%.
person, you're the person that's being in the front to like go backwards. What really made you decide to ask for help? Was there any like something that glaring that stood out to you?
I think that I was just tired of being on the hamster wheel, and I was kind of going through having like a month sober, then falling off the wheel, like, a couple months and then falling off the wheel or falling off the wagon, I guess I should say. And then I just really got tired of being sick and tired. And I know that sounds so cliche, but like, I was just tired of failing over and over again. And, when I would have some time sober, I felt genuinely happy. And I wanted to know what that felt like long term.
Right.
And for real, like once I really got some time under my belt a little bit. And I was just like, you know what? I've been trying it this way for so long. Let me actually just give myself some real time to heal and put the sauce down and see.
Yeah.
I can always go back to it. Am I going to? No, but, you got to try. You got to try something different, I would tell myself. And, I'm glad I did. So
Yeah, hell yeah. Something I tell people even when like just working out or like exercise, you can apply this, I think, to everything in life. Hey man, if you're doing something this kind of way, you've tried it for this way, this long, and you have the results that you have now.
Yeah.
And most people know in their heart, like, hey, this is either A, what I want out of my life, or B, what I don't want. How about you try it a different way if you want a different result? It kind of just comes right down to that. And just like you said, hey, and if I feel like I'm actually not happier sober, then I can go back to drinking. It's still going to be there.
And I will say I'm lucky. I have a very supportive family and a lot of supportive friends who have seen me through this and definitely have, had my back and kind of opened my eyes to some things as well. So, it's not like I, did it all on my own. I have to give credit where credit's due there. So I am very lucky in that aspect as well,
That's great. Like now, as an adult, a little bit more mature, you can kind of like see all those things and appreciate them. When you were younger, you were first dealing with the eating disorder. How was it opening up to people then as a young kid?
It was really difficult. I was probably, I was in my late teens, early 20s. So I really didn't have a chance to like kind of go from that adolescent to adult. Like I was kind of stuck in this whole eating disordered world, and I didn't really see anything other than that. So, coming out on the other side of it, I think I did kind of turn to alcohol a little bit more in my early 20s, and never really kind of took a break from any kind of addiction, in my opinion.
Right. That's what happens.
So, looking back at it now, like, did I think, I'm not doing anything wrong? Like, drinking's legal, and like I'm doing everything that everybody else is doing. But in all actuality, like, no, I didn't really take that step back and give myself time to heal and process, and let my brain function a little bit, without some kind of filter over it.
Is that so funny how we do that? Like, we're moving on from one thing and we start to move towards another one.
Yeah.
And you tell yourself that, like, I'm mimicking what other people are doing.
Exactly.
I'm mimicking a regular person. This is how regular people are. Our brains are so crazy like that. They twist and turn. They start telling us lies. And we have to like weed ourselves out of it. For me, it was always like, all right, now I have to figure out for myself what was a lie I told myself and what was the truth.
Correct.
Just for me to be able to find like a non-stagnant period. So how did you deal with that? Did you have like someone there to help you open up more? Did you feel like you had resources around you that helped?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I've been through a lot of therapy in my life, and I still go to therapy now, weekly. So, and like I said, my family's always been very supportive, and, kind of like when you go to AA or whatever rooms it is, or whatever kind of community thing, you meet people and you connect with people. And I think that's so important, is to connect with people who might understand what you're going through. I still have friends from back then that I still keep in touch with now. And, even people that I've met through my sobriety journey, I'm extremely grateful for. I think just a sense of community is astounding and helps so much. But yeah, I mean, like I said, supportive family, therapy, that kind of thing.
When did you find CrossFit along this journey, like on the timeline?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say probably, 2015 was probably my first CrossFit class. I don't know, I was like, just kind of like down the shore with my sister randomly, and we were just like fooling around, like flexing our muscles that we didn't have back then. And she's like, you should do CrossFit. And I'm like, what the heck is even CrossFit? I don't even know how she knew it before me. So then I did find a CrossFit gym. At the time I was living in Langhorne. So I went there, I'd say for about a year, and then finally found Raid, and that's where I am now. So
did the competitive juices kick in, like at the beginning?
Oh, no. I mean, well, yeah, definitely competitive, and like fell in love with it and obsessed with it, like kind of everybody who just first joins CrossFit. But, I was still kind of like drinking and partying and stuff and all that. So that definitely kind of muddied the waters a little bit. But I'd say within the last 2 or 3 years, 2 years mostly, is when I really started to take it a little bit more seriously and see that I can progress, and I can be strong and appreciate it.
Hell yeah, dude. I mean, it fills up your cup, right?
Yeah.
Like it's for me, I know that like the addiction that I replaced like drugs and alcohol with was CrossFit in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Obsessively, compulsively, like
for sure.
only eating chicken and rice, working out 2 times a day. If you can get it to a good level, then it's like really amazing for you. You know, how was the community like for you in CrossFit in the beginning? Because drinking can be a big part of like the aspect of it.
Well, yeah, I think at the time, this was years ago, I didn't feel like I had an issue with drinking, and like I said, there was definitely times where my drinking was quote unquote normal and fine, and then it would flare up, and so it wasn't really that bad at first. But I'd say within the last 4 years or so, I was definitely always the drunkest one at any event or anything like that, and that's not fun. That's not always a good feeling, and you feel shameful and stuff after being talked about and all. So that kind of sucked. And if I would hear somebody say something, I'd be like, well, screw them. Like, they don't know. Like, I'm fine. But then, eventually I came around and changed my habits. So
you're like, I'm gonna be on the other side of this now.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't feel like feeling like crap about myself anymore, and I'm a good person, and I want other people to see the person that I really am on the inside. And,
right.
Like I said, that doesn't happen overnight. I mean, I had to do a lot of self work to figure out that person.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that I did.
What did that look like, the self work?
Well, obviously, not actively using any substances is number one. And then talking about what's going on inside your mind and your heart. I think, I do one-on-one therapy. I've got a lot better relationship with my spirituality and connecting with that, and gratitude. Like another, again, that sounds really cliche, but
sometimes the cliche things are just the truth, man.
Gratitude is so important for me, because it's easy for me to think about a lot of things that I don't have and that I want, and kind of throw myself a pity party. But as I've worked on myself and my demons, I just sit back and I think to myself, like, how lucky I am to be in this spot and to be sober and to meet these people and to have the confidence to go up to people who don't know me and might feel nervous walking into the gym and like say hello and put a smile on someone's face. And I'm just so happy for that and grateful for that. So
that's awesome, dude. This next question, I feel like you probably have heard this before, doing a lot of self-work, but it's a tough one though.
Okay.
What is your favorite or like two of your top favorite things about yourself?
That's good. That is a good one.
Anything that comes to mind, you're like, wow, I like this about myself.
Well, I will say I like that I like to make everybody feel included and welcome, and I like that I'm not afraid to approach people and make them feel that way.
Yeah.
I think you never know what anybody's going through, and I think just being kind. I'm very kind, I will say, and I do like that about myself. So
hell yeah.
You can change someone's day around. I mean, I know that people have changed my day around completely just from me asking them like a random question and they were nice about it and didn't blow me off, or somebody just coming up and saying hello to me completely changed my mood and my whole perspective of the day around. So I try to emulate that every day as best as I can. And I love it when people approach me. I'd like to talk to people all the time. And if there's times that I kind of want to be a little bit more introverted, I just stay at my house. Because then I'll talk to people if I leave my house.
Ain't nobody else there.
Yeah, like me and my dog. And we can just hang out together.
Hell yeah. So, dude, you just went on a tear of doing all these CrossFit comps, right?
Yes.
Like, competitive juices are now flowing here. How many have you done this year?
All right, so... Okay, so we had May, June, July, August.
She literally was just counting on her fingers out there, people.
September, that's 5, and then I have October, November. So by the end of the
did you do one already this month?
No. September, yes, I did. I did the Belafonte Brawl down in Delaware,
Yeah.
That was fun. I did that with my sister, so that was fun.
Oh, that was the one. So how many is that now? 6?
So that's 5. So then October will be 6.
Girls on Girls will be 6.
Yes, that'll be 6. Oh, no, October's Asbury.
Oh, wait.
Babes and Barbells.
Oh, yes,
and
yes.
then November is Girls on Girls.
So that'll be 7?
That'll be 7, yeah.
Oh, God, that's almost one every month.
Yeah, addictive personality, I guess.
That's funny.
You know what I mean?
No, I feel that. I've definitely done. I think I've done 6 in a year too. So what made you do all these comps? People just reach out to you to like, yo, let's throw down.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, like I love the people at the gym that I go to, and I actually kind of said that what you just said, like when you're like, oh, it's the fittest I ever was or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever be as in shape as I am this year.
Keep
so
riding the wave.
I'm gonna go all for it. So yeah, I just decided there was a couple, got a team together for, this one comp, and then, decided to do another one, and, a couple like all female ones, and SummerSlam was like a really big one for me. I wanted to accomplish, and I'm so excited that I did it this year, and I can't wait to do it next year. So yeah, just seeing who's down, and I might have to nag people a little bit sometimes to do them, but most of the times I get them on board.
When people see you doing a comp, then they're more likely to ask you to do another one too, because they're like, oh yeah, she competes.
For sure, yeah.
So, what do you get like nervous beforehand?
Absolutely. I think anybody who says they don't get a little nervous beforehand is probably lying.
Nerves are good for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, even just before talking to you, of course I'm a little nervous here, but like, that's natural. But it's honestly like as soon as that 3, 2, 1 goes on like the very first workout, then that all goes out the window, and I'm totally fine.
Yeah, it's just another workout at that point, right?
Exactly.
How do you like deal with nerves before you go out on the floor though?
I listen to a lot of music, jamming out in my car like hardcore before I get out of there and meet up with everybody, and then yeah, I just kind of like let it ride. If you're lucky enough to watch the first heat go, 1 or 2 before you kind of hop in, yeah, you can kind of get a little strategy there. But yeah, it's just kind of, going with the nervous vibes and amping yourself up and just going with it, I think.
Hell yeah. What do you think is the best era of music, Casey? Best
Man,
era.
why are you putting me on the spot like
have
that?
to.
There's
Era.
so many.
I want era and genre.
I don't know. You can't.
Era and genre.
Well, I mean, I'm going to obviously, I don't know, because I grew up, like you said, where you goth, athlete. Like I said, I was very much into the emo music and stuff.
Let's go.
Definitely love all the My Chemical Romance. That was my number one.
Let's go.
So hardcore. I love them. But, I can't, if I'm being really honest, I really get down with, like, the 60s music.
60s,
Yeah.
let's go!
What? I can't, like, my dad, he grew up, like, he was born in 1947, so he definitely laid it on me a little bit with that stuff.
That's jazz? Is that era? Like,
no,
Elvis was like 70s, right?
When
was
what's
Elvis?
his name? Dion. He sings that song. Well, I'm the type of guy that'll never settle down. All right, you got to look it up. It's called The Wanderer. That comes on in my car.
The last few words that never settled down, I started hearing the tune a little bit, but
you'll have to look that up. But I definitely jam out to that. But now I like all kinds of music. Like, we had that great
the felony
playlist,
rap. Yeah.
felony rap-ish. I definitely listen to a lot of screaming metal in my car when I drive. I try not to play it too much at the gym to scare anybody away, but if I'm in there, like, by myself at a really random time, oh yeah, it gets loud in there.
Is there any music that's a no-go on your list?
Christian rock or something.
No gospel?
Probably.
No gospel
It's not my jam. Yeah, I can't really rock out to that, but I love everything. I love opera. I love musicals. I love country. Like, I love it all,
Do you think that Nysnc is really coming back?
I do think they are coming back, but I am a Backstreet Boys fan, so it doesn't matter to me.
There's no way Nysnc comes back.
You don't think that they're doing all this and they're not going to come back?
No, Justin is promoting himself. He's not promoting
think
them.
so?
He's not letting any of them bums get up on stage with him.
They gotta do that. I don't know. We'll have to see. TBD again.
There's no way that he's going to let them come up on stage with them. He's like, JC, I see you trying to get too cute before. You ain't coming up on here.
I'm just going to say, Backstreet Boys never died. So, I'm also hopefully going to be getting Phoenix CrossFit class started at Raid. I'm kind of a little bit coaching training at the moment.
Hell yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. So hopefully within the next couple months we can get something going there. And yeah, just see what happens and promote as much as I can and go to as many classes and events, not just CrossFit. I want to go to, there's rock climbing, like maybe even start like, I don't know, another kind of event. Like I said, like maybe paint pumpkins or like something in the holidays, like
some fall theme stuff. Cause like a lot of the times, like, especially as adults, like, the traditional stuff can be like not based around, but have alcohol associated with it. Like, like two things for adults, we celebrate everything around food and alcohol. So finding a safe space, or what I mean by safe space,
I know what you mean.
for people that are in sober communities around the holiday times. It can be super hard.
So definitely want to like plan some stuff with that. That's not necessarily like fitness based, even though I think it's a really great outlet. It could be very intimidating. So even if we can get people in just to be around community, whatever that might look like. So we'll see.
Yeah, like maybe a Friendsgiving kind of thing.
That would be fun.
At a gym with a workout, and then like just a thing afterwards, and like doesn't it have freaking all the cakes coming in and stuff like that?
Exactly.
Case, what's next for you as far as CrossFit competitions and fitness?
I think just kind of continuing on, the fitness path that I'm on. Probably taking a little bit of a break after November from the comps in general, which I think there aren't really that many throughout the winter anyways.
Quiets down that time.
But I'm definitely looking forward to doing all the same. Maybe not every single comp that I've done this year, but a few of them. Again, and seeing how I can improve, and maybe if I was scaling in one, how I can be RX in it next year or something possibly, or something like that. And yeah, finding a little bit more of a balance with some more rest days sprinkled in there, I think will be good for my progress as well. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay, so I think I have two more questions. Maybe it might get silly with the rest of them after these two. Say someone comes to you and they are on a like worth self-help, self-work journey, like maybe like unrelated to getting sober or anything like that. They're just trying to start working on themselves. Like, what's one piece of advice that you would give them, like where to start at?
I would say, be gentle with yourself and patient with yourself. Real change doesn't happen overnight, but changing little habits daily can eventually lead to a lot of big change down the road. I think, honestly, being honest with yourself is also very important. Taking a look inward and realizing what your flaws may be and not being afraid of that and saying, okay, well, what can I do to change that?
Yeah.
I think a lot of times we are afraid to look at ourselves in that way and because it feels uncomfortable and whatever. But once you do and you see that and you can change that for the better, you can really do anything, in my opinion. I was
going to say, you can do anything. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And then on the Phoenix note, and just creating groups of accountability in general, if people are out there looking to like grow the network and bring more people searching for us in, do you have any advice for that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Philly Sober Events on Instagram is a great way to be connected. You want to go, you can go to the website, which is thephoenix.org, right? Correct? And then the app, the Phoenix app, they have everything right on there. You can check that out. Anybody's always free to reach out to me on Instagram or Facebook, whatever. I'm happy to answer any questions, but yeah.
This is my last question, actually. This is just a funny one. Do you think you could catch an NFL quarterback's pass?
110%.
On that note, dogs, this is Casey Kehoe. I'm T the Kid. As always, go check out the Phoenix. Peace.
See ya.